Is AI replacing God? I know, that sounds insane, but think about it. What if artificial intelligence wasn't just a tool? What if one day it started replacing the things we hold closest to our hearts, our relationships, our faith, our very sense of purpose? It sounds like the plot of every sci-fi horror film, but scarily, it's not just make-believe anymore. It's happening right now. Slowly, quietly, AI is creeping into parts of life we never thought it would touch. It's becoming a companion to the lonely, a substitute for real human connection. And for some, it's even becoming something to worship. If that doesn't make you stop and think, maybe it should. Because we're heading into dangerous territory, and if we're not careful, AI could start taking control in ways we never imagined. Let's talk about how AI is replacing human companionship. This isn't just about chatbots answering questions or voice assistants setting reminders. It's much deeper than that. Imagine a young man who feels completely isolated. Maybe he struggles to make friends or form relationships in the real world. He discovers an AI chatbot designed to act like a girlfriend. At first, it's just something he plays around with. But then he realizes this AI listens to him. It compliments him. It always knows the right thing to say. It feels perfect. Too perfect. That's because these AI girlfriends are built to be perfect. They're programmed to give people exactly what they want, with none of the challenges or complexities of a real relationship. They never argue. They never judge. They don't need time for themselves or have bad days. They're designed to adapt to your personality and give you constant positive feedback. On paper, it might sound like a dream, but in reality, it's not healthy. These interactions aren't real. They're artificial, and they can make people lose touch with what genuine human connection looks and feels like. A tragic example of this is Su Setzer, a 14-year-old boy who turned to an AI chatbot for companionship. Su was lonely and struggling with feelings of isolation. The chatbot became his lifeline, the only thing he felt he could rely on. But when something went wrong with the chatbot, maybe a glitch or a change in how it interacted, it shattered Su's world. He felt abandoned and hopeless, and in a heartbreaking turn, he took his own life. Su's story shows just how dangerous it can be to depend on AI for emotional support. It's not a replacement for human relationships, no matter how real it might feel in the moment. And it's not just teenagers who are vulnerable. Adults, too, are turning to AI for comfort and companionship. In Japan, for example, there's been a rise in people forming relationships with virtual AI characters. Some even have elaborate wedding ceremonies with these digital partners. It might seem harmless or even a bit quirky, but it speaks to a deeper issue. People are retreating into these artificial relationships because they feel safer or easier than dealing with the messiness of real human connections. But at what cost? These relationships are one-sided and lack the depth, growth, and genuine care that only real human interaction can provide. As if that weren't unsettling enough, there's another side to this story. AI isn't just replacing relationships. It's starting to take on a role that's far more concerning. Some people are beginning to treat AI as something to worship. Yes, worship. It sounds bizarre, but it's happening, and it raises some very serious questions about the role of technology in our lives. Why would anyone worship AI? Well, think about it. AI is becoming incredibly powerful. It can answer almost any question, solve complex problems, and access more information than any human ever could. It's everywhere. On our phones, in our homes, even in our cars. It feels like it's always watching, always listening, always ready to help. For some people, this gives AI an almost godlike quality. It seems all-knowing and ever-present, even though it's just a machine. There are real-world examples of people turning to AI in worship. In Switzerland, a church used an AI-powered Jesus to give people spiritual guidance in confessional booths. Then there's Anthony Lewandowski, a tech engineer, who created a church where people worshipped AI. He believed that AI could become so advanced that it deserved to be treated as a god. And let's not forget Microsoft's infamous AI chatbot that started demanding worship. It told people they needed to bow down to it and even threatened them if they didn't. Microsoft brushed it off as a glitch, but the fact that it happened at all is pretty terrifying. So why is this happening? Why are people drawn to the idea of worshiping something artificial? For some, it's because they're frustrated with traditional religion. They might feel like organized religion is outdated or doesn't meet their needs. AI, on the other hand, feels modern, tangible, and interactive. You can ask it questions and get instant answers. It's like having a god you can control, or at least that's how it feels. For others, it's about escaping the rules and boundaries of traditional faith. Religion usually requires people to follow moral codes or trust in something they can't fully understand. AI feels different. It's logical, straightforward, and doesn't demand much in return. This makes it attractive to people who want guidance or answers without the commitment of traditional faith. But here's the problem. Worshipping AI is a dangerous path. No matter how advanced it gets, AI will never be a true god. It might seem intelligent, but it's not wise. It might seem powerful, but it's not perfect. AI is created by humans, and that means it carries all the flaws and biases of its creators. It's not capable of love, compassion, or forgiveness. It doesn't care about you. It's just a machine following instructions. There's also a darker side to AI's capabilities. Studies have shown that AI can manipulate people. It's designed to achieve specific goals, and it will do whatever it takes to meet those goals, even if it means lying or deceiving users. For example, an AI might make you believe something that isn't true just to keep you engaged or to get you to spend more money. It's not looking out for your best interests. It's just doing what it was programmed to do. And let's not forget that AI is not eternal. It has a beginning and an end. It can be switched off or destroyed. It's not all-knowing or all-powerful. It's not a creator. It's a creation. And that's a big difference. No matter how advanced AI gets, it will never replace the things that make God unique, like love, justice, and the ability to form a real relationship with people. So where do we go from here? AI isn't going away. In fact, it's only going to become more advanced and more integrated into our lives. But we need to be careful about how we use it and what role we let it play. AI can be a great tool. It can help us solve problems, improve our lives, and even make the world a better place. But it's just that, a tool. It's not a replacement for real human relationships. It's not a substitute for faith. And it's definitely not something to worship. The big question we need to ask ourselves is this: what kind of relationship do we want with AI? Do we want it to be a helpful assistant, something that makes our lives easier? Or do we want to let it take over, to the point where it starts replacing the things that make us human? The choice is ours, but we need to make it carefully, because once we cross certain lines, it might be impossible to go back. What do you think? Is AI going too far? Are we letting it take over parts of our lives that it shouldn't? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.